in the heart of Montana's endless hills. Beneath skies so wide they swallow time itself, sits the Double Bar Ranch, my home, my inheritance, and my legacy. My grandfather fought like hell to keep every acre of it wild and free from the creeping fingers of suburbia. Now, it's mine. Over 5,000 acres of open range, grazing cattle, wild horses, and the occasional elk wandering through like an old friend. The trouble began quietly, almost too quietly. One crisp autumn morning, while mending fence near the eastern creek bed, I noticed the earth had been disturbed. Fresh dirt piled unevenly, as if someone had been digging under cover of darkness. Curious sand, already wary, grabbed my shovel and dug down. Less than a foot below the surface, I hit metal, a thick PVC pipe humming faintly with the flow of water. It snaked across my land like a secret artery, leading straight toward Whispering Pines Estates, the glossy, gated subdivision that had sprouted 5 years ago, like a bad rash on the edge of my property. I'd heard whispers about their aggressive expansion, but this was outright theft. I traced the line for half a mile. It tapped directly into the spring-fed aquifer that waters my herds, fills my creeks, and sustains this land. They'd drilled in under the cover of night, probably bribed some surveyor, forged paperwork, and helped themselves to my water to keep their golf course green and their fountains burbling. Furious, I called my lawyer, Old Hank. "Sounds like a legal water diversion," he said, after I described it. "And without a permit. It's not just rude, it's criminal." I rode the full length of the pipeline on horseback, marking it with flags like wounds on the land. Then I stormed into one of their pristine HOA meetings, held in a clubhouse that reeked of entitlement and fresh paint. The board president, a slick operator named Carlton in a too-tight polo shirt, played dumb. "No knowledge of any pipeline," he said, blinking like a caught coyote. But I saw the flicker in his eyes. He knew. Back at the ranch that night, I pored over deeds and water rights under the dim glow of my desk lamp. Montana law is tricky. Water rights aren't automatically tied to land ownership. They're claimed separately. And, as it turned out, those rights to my spring had never been officially filed. They were just floating, waiting, so I claimed them. It cost me $50,000 in surveys, filings, and legal fees, but within weeks, the state granted me provisional ownership of every drop flowing from that aquifer. With that paper in hand, I hired a crew to unearth the HOA's shoddy, unpermitted pipeline. At the tap point, I welded on a heavy-duty valve, locked it shut, and posted no trespassing signs every 10 feet. Like sentinels, the fallout was swift. Whispering Pines, lawns turned brittle and yellow. Their ponds shrank. Residents howled about low water pressure. Carlton called me, voice slick with fake civility. "This is sabotage. We'll sue." "Sue all you want," I told him, "but that water's mine now. You stole from my land. Consider this your eviction notice." For your pipe, they did sue, and lost. In court, we laid it all out. Photos of the illegal tap, proof of trespass, and my newly minted water rights. The judge, a no-sense rancher himself, didn't hesitate. He ordered the HOA to rip out their pipeline at their own expense and pay me damages enough to cover every dime I'd spent, and then some. As their bulldozers tore up the stolen line, Carlton approached me, hat in hand. "Look, Jake, maybe we can work something out. Buy some of your water rights." I smiled. "Price just doubled, and you'll apologize to every rancher you've ever tried to push around." He grumbled, and agreed. In the end, I leased them a trickle, just enough to keep their fountains giggling, but not a drop more. My cattle grew fat, my creeks ran clear, and I learned a truth as old as the West itself. Water is power, and you don't steal from a man's land unless you're ready to fight for it.